to you in part by Labatt's Blue. Live via satellite from Hollywood and Seattle, it's Rockline, the show where you interview the hottest stars in rock and roll. Hello again, I'm Bob Coburn. Rockline is brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Tonight, Rockline is an evening with Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart. Ann and Nancy are in our Seattle Rockline studio. I'm here in our Hollywood Rockline studio. So get your questions ready and call us toll-free in the U.S. and Canada. 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. One number toll-free from anywhere in North America. And welcome to our first show of summer 1987, officially. Not many rock and roll bands are faced with the dilemma of having to create an album that follows one that sold in excess of 5 million copies, but Heart has accepted that challenge and risen to new heights because of it. And Rockline welcomes from Heart Ann Wilson. Welcome back, Ann.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to talk to you tonight. Also with you, Nancy Wilson. Welcome back to Rockline, Nancy.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Doing great tonight. Are you ready for the road? Your tour starts this coming Friday in Portland, Maine.
Oh, God. Well, if we're not ready now, we're definitely in trouble. Okay?
Now, this should be a long one from what I've been reading. You're planning on going out for close to a year, I guess, huh?
Yeah, we're going to go all over the States. We're going to Europe, to Australia, and to Japan, and then back to the States again. So you'll be seeing us in your town.
Well, we have the opening leg that I'll be announcing throughout the show, so be listening for that.
Oh, great.
I assume that the two of you intended this to be a hard rockin' album, because it sure is. Even the ballads have some punch on this record.
All right. Yeah. We tried, like, one more time to have it be as much like we are live as possible. On the record.
It sounded that way to me. We're going to start things off musically with the first single from the album. This is one of the ballads that has a lot of punch to it. This one is called Alone by Heart on Rockline.
No answer on the telephone.
Beautiful song from Bad Animals. That is Alone by Heart, starting us off this evening on Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. We're going to get some live music tonight from Ann and Nancy, and I know there's at least one guitar there, and we'll look forward to that. That's definitely one thing. And something else I want to mention right off the top here, and that's happy birthday to you, Ann. It was this last Friday, wasn't it?
Oh, you would have to say that. Well, thank you very much. I'm not ashamed.
Well, you shouldn't be. Got our first call for you tonight from Sarnia, Ontario. This is Tony listening to WRIF in Detroit. Hi, Tony.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Nancy? How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ann, I just want to say happy birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's see here. This is just directed to Nancy because
Okay.
I have a poster of you on my wall, and I think you're very beautiful.
Thank you.
I'll ask you this. Due to the huge success of your last LP, Heart, did you feel any pressure that you guys had to make an LP to top it? And do you think Bad Animals was your best to date?
Oh, man. Well, yeah, we did definitely feel a little bit of that pressure, you know. But we knew what we didn't want to do, which really helped us get going on what we did want to do. We didn't want to kind of repeat ourselves, and especially we didn't want to do another album that sounded just like the Heart album, you know. So we did a lot of extra songwriting, pre-production stuff, and the band all wrote together, and we wrote with other outside writers, and again with Holly Knight, you know. And so we just really worked harder up front again. And so I think that really helped. And we took a lot more chances with it. And we, you know, when we got to do like that song, I Wait for an Answer, or Just Wait for an Answer, it's called. And so I think that's...
I'll be waiting for an answer.
Yeah, I will be for an answer. I will be waiting. And so I think we just took more chances and we spread out a little more in new directions. Yeah.
There you go, Tony. Good question. Thanks for helping us this evening. By the way, those of you in the Detroit area can look for Heart in concert on the 30th of June and the 1st of July at Pine Knob, and a couple of other dates quickly in Nashville, Tennessee at the Starwood on the 3rd of July and July 4th in Indianapolis. We'll take a brief time out. We're back in just one moment. Your number to call is toll-free from anywhere in North America to talk with Nancy Wilson and Ann Wilson from Heart. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. Give us a call. We'll put you on the Rock Line. Hi, I'm Bob Coburn. It's an evening with Heart. We have yet another affiliate to welcome to the Rock Line this evening. WHEB-FM in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Glad to have you aboard, and we'd love to hear from you tonight. We're going to talk now with Brian. He's in Fresno, California. Our station there is 106 KKDJ. And Brian, you're on the Rock Line. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening,
Hi.
Nancy.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
How you doing?
Great.
Happy birthday, Ann.
Thank you very much, Brian. How are things in Fresno?
Fresno, well, we're looking forward to seeing you guys again.
We'll be there pretty soon.
Great. Sounds good to me. I had a couple of questions. First being, your new album, Bad Animal. I'd like to know where the name originated. And I want to also let you know that one of my favorite songs is If Looks Could Kill off your last album.
All right. All right. Sounds like you like rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. So we're looking forward to seeing you again.
Oh, well, we'll be there. Well, first of all, the name Bad Animals was something that we began to call each other, you know, just the five of us within the band, after we'd been on the road a little bit too long last year. You know, like that one extra date that was the one extra date that was too many. And we were all pretty rock and rollized by then. We all had our little tour unis really going. And we looked like something that crawled out from under a rock, okay?
Something
Let's just be
dangerous.
honest. And so, like, pretty soon we started to say, God, you animal, to each other. And it kind of evolved out of that. So we thought, okay, where the last album was Heart, hi, it's Heart. Okay, the next one is Heart Evolved, it's Bad Animals.
Yeah, here comes Riff Raff.
Here comes the Riff Raff.
There you go, Brian. I assume that was both your questions, and we thank you for being on this evening. We're going to talk now with Darren, who is in Lethbridge, Alberta, listening to CILA-FM there. And Darren, you're on the Rock Line with us.
Hi there, Ann, Nancy.
Hi, Darren.
God, it's great to be talking to you two. I'm really happy to hear you tonight.
Well, how's the weather up there?
It's really, really windy right now. We claim to be the windiest city in Canada.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, my God. Well, we've actually played there in Lethbridge a couple times.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago.
I can hear the wind from here.
Okay, well, I wanted to say something to you, Ann, especially. I think you've got the best female voice in rock and roll history ever.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank
think
you
she
very
does
much.
too.
Thank you. I really try hard, you know, so that makes me feel good. Thanks.
Oh, well, anyway, the station here, they just finished the Hot 20 album countdown.
You guys jumped from number 9. You got the number 1 album here in Southern Alberta.
Right.
That sounds good to me.
Thanks.
Okay, and I got 2 questions for you guys. First off, are you coming out to Western Canada?
Yeah, we're going to play Alberta, Calgary, and I'm not sure if we're playing Lethbridge, but I know we're playing Calgary.
Great.
Yeah.
And we're playing Edmonton as well.
And I
Okay.
think Toronto and Montreal as well, right?
Yeah, Vancouver.
And Vancouver. Yeah.
Great. Maybe
Hi, Vancouver.
3 spots then.
Yeah.
And what else, Darren?
Okay, my question for you is, I heard when you signed your contract with Capitol Records that you both had to release solo albums. Now, if you do, are they going to sound like Heart, or are you going to go back to the sort of sound that you did on Magazine with some of that blues that you're so famous for as well?
Well, I think the latter is the case. I think that there's no point in putting out a solo album if you sound just like the band you're in. So it'll be more, I think, more the type of things that Nancy and I write.
Yeah, a little more
Not
rhythm.
for Heart necessarily.
A little more rhythm and blues and, more of the stuff that we write, for sure.
Now, is that accurate? You're both scheduled for solo releases?
Well, yeah, actually, Anne's solo deal was, contingent on the Heart deal, and I've already got another thing going, which is sort of a soundtrack thing that I'm doing for an animated movie. But my own solo deal will come second.
So that would be at the conclusion of this world tour you're about to embark on then.
That's right. We're going to be busy
Great.
after we're done being busy.
Great.
Yeah, we're I think we're at the point where during the time we're on the road, we're going to be auditioning songs and writing songs for our solo projects.
Busy. Darren, thanks for being on. Great call tonight. We appreciate it. Let's talk to Vince now in Philadelphia, listening to 94 WYSP. You're on the show, Vince.
Hi, Ann. Hi, Nancy.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Great.
I just want to say I'm really looking forward to your tour this time. And my question is, you have a whole bunch of great new material, right?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of old material. How are you going to do all of it in one show this time?
Good question.
Yeah.
We've been trying to figure that out for the last 2 weeks in rehearsals.
Yeah, we have so much stuff now that we had to get kind of brutal when we cut things. There were a lot of things that we still wanted to keep doing that we just couldn't do because the show was getting too long. It was like ridiculously long.
And Anne sings in a way that you can't go on like for 4 or 5 hours. We have to do a pretty regular length show, and so it does get tough to cut out the old, some of the old and some of the new material. But I think we reached a real good balance.
Yeah, we have a lot of the new stuff in the set, and what we consider to be the old songs that we like playing the most. So and we might change the songs around too as the year goes along. We might kind of
Add
take some out and change it around. So if you go see us in Philadelphia, it might not be the same as it is in another town the next leg.
Will it be an evening with Heart with no opening act?
No, we have an opening act.
You did decide to go that way. I know there was some talk at one point about just having an evening with Heart, and the set was up to 3.5 hours. Wait a minute here.
That was Anne screaming.
Oh, okay.
No, that's kind of a lot to put on a lead singer. But of course, look at Springsteen. He doesn't complain. I mean, he's up there singing at the top of his voice for 3 hours. Well,
Or
Mister,
4.
he's a better man than me. I don't know if I could do that for a year, and still walk away and be able to talk to you.
Let's go back an album now and listen to definitely one of the best Heart songs ever. This one is called Never on Rockline and the Global Satellite Network.
Hey baby, I'm talking to you. Stop yourself and listen. Some things you can never choose, even if you try. Yeah, you're banging your head again, and somebody won't let you in. One chance, one love, your chance to let me know we can't go on just to run away. If we stay any longer, we will surely never get away. Anything you want, we
From the album titled Heart, that's Never. I'm Bob Coburn. We're with Ann and Nancy from Heart right now. It's an evening with Heart on Rockline. I'm going to talk to Teresa now in Hopewell, Virginia. Our affiliate there is XL 102 out of Richmond. Teresa, I'd like you to meet Nancy and Ann from Heart.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Teresa.
I wanted to talk to Ann. I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I wanted to tell everybody at work. I told everybody at work on Friday that it was your birthday. I was
Well,
excited.
thanks a lot. You know, I had a really good birthday this year. It just made me know how many friends I have, really. It was great.
I have your pictures up all over my walls, and I was so excited to talk to y'all today. I couldn't stand it. I went to y'all's 85 concert in Richmond, and I'm going to be going to the Merriweather Post Pavilion both nights.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that's the 17th and 18th of July, right?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
And I can't wait. I'm going to be staying up there, and Hopewell's a long way from there. That's in Maryland.
Teresa, I need a question from you, please.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you about your album cover. Who got you the idea for your album cover for like the little Egyptian animals and stuff?
Well, we kind of, well, this is Nancy speaking because Ann nodded to me to answer.
Hi, Nance.
Hi there. So I know you might have asked Ann this question, but I'll answer it. Well, the whole band got together, and the first thing we didn't want to do was put our big mugs on the cover one more time, because we thought we'd sort of done that, a lot of times, and we wanted to do something a little more artistic this time, and so we thought of commissioning somebody to do some artwork, and we wanted to get something kind of primitive that could be modernistic, something really weird, and since the album title was Bad Animals. We had a bunch of different artists draw some what they thought was primitive-looking bad animals, and that's the one we chose.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Teresa. Thanks for your call tonight. Did you say, oh, no, I can't do that. What we're going to do now, I'm going to mention...
What are you doing,
No. I was looking at the concert thing, but she mentioned the Merriweather Post Pavilion. I'm going to give a couple of concert dates here. Atlanta, Georgia on the 5th of July, on the 7th in Cincinnati at the Riverbend Amphitheater, and at Cuyahoga Falls, the Blossom Music Center on the 8th of July. We have a call from the Cleveland area now. It's Randy talking to from WMMS. Hi, Randy.
Hi, Ann, Nancy. How are you guys doing?
Hi, Rand.
Hey, Randy.
We're looking forward to seeing you at Blossom on the 8th. And my question is for both of you, but first I have a comment to Ann. On this record, I really enjoy your singing very much, especially on I Want You So Bad.
Oh, thank you. That's actually my favorite one, too.
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, that song, the way you sing it is so filled with emotion. It just really hits home. But
All right, I think it's kind of romantic myself.
definitely. I love it. It's my favorite on the whole album.
Right.
But my question to both of you is, after being in Heart for 10 years, is there a specific performance that stands out most in your mind as what you would both consider as the ultimate concert for you?
Well, we just played Japan last summer, and we did a really exceptional... It was one of those nights. I mean, sometimes... Every night is great because you get to play, but sometimes there's just a big magic that happens. And one of those nights happened at the NHK Hall in Tokyo? Yeah, it was in Tokyo last summer, and we were recording that night, and we got... The B-side of the Alone single actually has a live version of Barracuda on it from that night. And it was just one of those, my most recent favorite night of all time.
It was a real standout night.
Yeah.
It was not the night that I got the piece of glass in my eye, however. It wasn't that night.
It wasn't that
Ooh,
night.
I hope not.
That was the next night.
Yeah.
There you go.
The good with the bad.
There you are, Randy. Thanks for your call. We appreciate it. We'll take a brief time out. We'll come back with some live music in just a moment. We're just getting started with Ann and Nancy Wilson from Heart, and we're waiting for your call. Toll free from anywhere in North America. It's 1-800-344-ROCK.
Hi, everybody. This is Graham Nash, and right now you're listening to Rockline on the Global Satellite Network.
Thank you, Graham. Next week, we'll be listening to you along with Stephen Stills and David Crosby as they get ready for their summer tour. Right now, we're going to throw it to Ann and Nancy up in Seattle. They're going to play a live version of a song that's on Bad Animals called RSVP. I'm really looking forward to hearing this.
Well,
Thanks.
I guess we're stuck now. We got to do it well, man. Jeez, we shouldn't have even. Well, okay. This is Ann, and I'd like to make a little dedication on this one. We'd like to dedicate this one to all the people in Canada who we know we haven't been up there to play in a long time, but we're coming back this summer to play. And this is a song for all of you guys up there north of the border.
closing my door. I don't wanna have to wait anymore. I know my offer might be long overdue. RSVP, it's a private affair. I just won't believe that you don't care. RSVP, only you and me. I'll be waiting till you answer me. Yeah. Please don't hesitate, I'm waiting for you. You can't have nothing more important to do. And deep in the night time, hear me talk to you. RSVP, it's a private affair. I just won't believe that you don't care. RSVP, only you and me. I'll be waiting till you answer me. RSVP, it's a private affair. I just won't believe that you don't care. RSVP, only you and me. I'll be waiting till you answer me. Yeah, yeah. Good evening, Canada.
Beautiful, nice indeed. RSVP, the song that closes Bad Animals, the latest LP by Heart. It's a song written by Ann and Nancy and their friend Sue Innes. And nicely done, ladies. Let's take a call now from Idaho Falls to be exact. Z103 is our affiliate. And Keith, you're on the Rockline with us.
Hi, Ann and Nancy.
Hi there. Hi.
Happy birthday, Ann.
Thank you so much.
Did a lot tonight.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was my question, was who was the third artist on RSVP in the other song?
Oh, it was Paul McCartney, you know. No. Actually, it was our friend Sue Innes. She's been a friend since high school, and we still keep in touch and play guitars, and we still write with her.
There you go, Keith. Thank you for your participation tonight. We appreciate it. It's John's turn as we head to Toronto, Ontario now. He's listening to Q107. Did you enjoy that song, John?
Yeah, that was great. Hi, Ann, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi, I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of Canada for that RSVP dedication.
Boy, you are such the emissary here. Thank you on behalf of the entire country.
Canadian spokesperson, really.
All right.
That was
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Congratulations on your 10th album. It's doing great up here in Toronto. People are just going crazy over it.
Oh, good.
Tirana.
Yeah. Hey, Nancy.
Yeah.
I understand that you've been working quite diligently on a movie for the past 6 years. I believe it's called Dream Friends.
That's right.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about it.
Well, I'm working right now with Ann and Sue, who we just mentioned, on the script, and we just turned it in to Disney, and they might want to do it with us, or maybe some other big companies are interested too. So, we got our fingers crossed right now, but it looks like it's really going to happen this year, and we're going to be doing a soundtrack with a whole bunch of our artist friends, and rockers that we know, artistes. And it's going to be really cool because it's a chance for us to really spread out in more acoustic and more rock, directions, and for me to sing more and play more and bring other friends in to sing and play too.
Well-informed call there. John, do you have another question?
I'd just like to say happy birthday to Ann. You're another year cuter.
Thank you. All right. What's your phone number? Thank you.
There you go, John. Thanks. We appreciate it. It's Tina's turn now. She's in Campbell, California, listening to 97.3 The Rocker in San Francisco. And Tina, once again, you're on the rock line. Hi there.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Great.
Ann and Nancy, it's such an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
You're the
Hi.
most beautiful ladies in rock and roll with the best vocals in the world.
All right. Well, thank you.
I have.
Not as good as Pavarotti and Joan Sutherland, okay?
Yeah, but they're not in rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay, I have several questions. I'll see how many I can get on here. First of all, who got the piece of glass in their eye? But I was also wondering, being your sisters, how do you keep from tearing each other apart on this road? And how many years apart are you different in ages?
Well, Ann got the piece of glass in her eye, and I can tell Nancy from myself because she's not me.
You mean how do other people? Yeah, probably so. Well, I think that only because of the last MTV things have they really started to know which one was me.
Oh, I see.
Who's Nancy speaking. And I'm the blonde one, and Ann's the other one.
Yeah.
And but I think it took a long time, for people to really know who was who. And let's see, we forgot, what was the other
She wanted to
question?
know how you keep from tearing each other apart on the road.
Tearing each other
That, her words.
Okay, I'm sorry. We thought you said,
Oh, I got
how can you
got
tell each other apart? Okay.
Oh, never mind.
That's a real never mind. That's a real
Yeah.
Gilda Radner.
Really?
Well, we keep from tearing each other apart because we love each other. And we're a very close family and a tight-knit family. And a long time ago, Nancy and I learned that we could really get a lot more accomplished in music and in life by supporting each other rather than picking at each other.
Yeah, and building things up instead of tearing things down.
Yeah, we're just lucky. We just love each other and we support each other.
And the other part of Tina's question, how far apart in age? You don't have to state your ages, but how
4
far
years.
apart? 4 years.
4 years.
Now, you have another sister, too, who also sings some, don't you?
Yeah, and she's 4 years apart from us too, and she is, she doesn't sing professionally, but she could, she has a pretty good voice.
There you go, Tina. Thanks for being on tonight. We appreciate it. Tina mentioned the great vocals, and the vocals on this song, to me, are just absolutely stunning. This is Who Will You Run To by Heart on Rockline. Animals, the new album by Heart. Who Will You Run To on Rockline and Bob Coburn. By the way, everything that's studio recording is on compact disc tonight. And of course, we had some live music a minute ago and hopefully a little more later. Let me pass a couple of concert dates on. The tour begins on the 26th of June in Portland, Maine. The 27th, we'll find Heart in Hartford, Connecticut, and in Providence, Rhode Island on the 28th of June. We're going to talk to John now. He's in Philadelphia. 94 YSP is our station there. John, meet Ann and Nancy.
Hi there.
Hi. Hi.
This is such a pleasure. I've been a fan since the very beginning.
All right.
This is terrific. Got a couple of questions for you here. First of all, Heart used to write almost all of their own material. And on the last two albums, you've been doing almost all outside material. I was wondering, why did you make that decision?
Well, first of all, we're not doing almost all outside material. We're writing about half of our own material now. And we changed because we were getting into the bad habit of just recording the first 7 songs we wrote, and that's no way to make an album. We just thought it'd be much cooler to be more selective and to open up our doors a little bit, and get some outside information, to work with some other people, get some fresh ideas flowing. I think it's worked really well.
It was great because we met a lot of new songwriters that we're still collaborating with now.
I agree. It's worked out really well. Excuse me. John, do you have another question?
Yeah. Do you think you're going to be... I know you covered a Bernie Taupin song on the previous album. Do you think you'll do any more of his stuff?
Well, sure. I mean, he's a good friend of ours, too. And he actually did have a couple of songs that he, submitted for this record. And by the time we got him, we'd already chosen them all, so we didn't do them. But he's a great writer.
He sure is. He really knows how to work with the language very well.
No
and, of
kidding.
course, These Dreams is the song John was referring to, and that was a #1 hit single for the band. Thank you,
right.
John, for your call. Let's talk to Mary now in Chicago, listening to the Loop FM 98. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, God, I can't believe I'm talking to you guys. I can't believe it. Happy birthday, Nancy. Hi. I seen your guys' new video, and I was real curious. Where do you get the audience?
Well, those particular folks, we rounded up off the streets of L.A.
Me and Ann went out with a sandwich board,
yeah, with a sandwich board. No, actually, they were like, some of them were from the Heart fan club, and some were just extras, that we just found on the streets. Like they said, "Hey, want to be in a rock video?" And they went, "Sure," But as it turned out, we had a really great time. It was like a little mini concert, and they all had a great time, and we couldn't get them to leave. So
some of those were some of those were fan club members. What a nice
Yeah.
treat for them. Really, that's nice.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the video alone is what Mary's referring to there. Go ahead.
Oh,
what were you
yeah.
going to say?
Well, like, we have some of the best fans in the world. I mean, like we have some of the most loyal, long-time, devoted fans of all the groups, and like a lot of the other bands we know are always saying, "Where do you get these people? They're so great. They're so loyal," So, like, I just want to, like, take off my hat right now to all the Heart fans out there.
Thank you very much, all of you.
And there you go, Mary. I'm glad you got to talk to some of your favorite entertainers there. Let's move on now to Orlando, Florida. WDIZ is our affiliate, and we welcome Rachel to the show. Hi.
Hi, Bob and Nancy.
Hi.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Great.
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. First off, I have to say your music is great.
Thank you.
It's really good. And I also have to tell you hi from a friend of mine and yours, Tina Taylor from St. Augustine.
Oh, how's she doing?
Excuse me?
How's she doing?
Oh, she's doing pretty good. I just talked to her a few weeks ago.
All right.
For people who don't know, she's a DJ in St. Augustine, and she interviewed Ann and Nancy a couple times. And my question is, a few years ago, it happened to be on Rockline, you were talking about doing some acting, small acting parts in a movie. I was wondering how that came about, and do you have any intentions of doing more of that in the future?
Yeah, when they make this big sequel to Gone with the Wind that they're going to make in the next year, Okay, seriously now, I turn you over to Nancy.
Well, okay. Well, I've done a couple of little parts in a couple of kind of comedy movies. One of them was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And
one of them was From Here to Eternity.
Yeah. And the other one was called The Wildlife. And the reason I got to do that was because a real good friend of mine wrote the movie. And it was really fun to do. And so, like, we've both been offered a lot of different parts, like the part Joan Jett just played. And I told him that that I thought it was more a part for her, and I guess they took it seriously because she got that part. And so it's just something, you know, we don't really have a lot of time for, but for little bit parts, you know, it's always fun to do because movies are just really fun to see happen, you know. So yeah, that's just something we're doing on the side here and there.
There you go, Rachel. Good call. We're going to play some rock and roll now by Heart. This is from the album Dreamboat Annie as we head back to the beginning for the band. This is Crazy on You with guitar intro on Rockline.
Hey!
Crazy on You by Heart from Dreamboat Annie on Rockline and the Global Satellite Network. Have a couple of more concert dates to pass on to you. You can find Heart in concert on July 10th in the Chicago area at Hoffman Estates at Poplar Creek. Also on the 11th. With Hart, Ann and Nancy from the band with us right now. And we're going to talk with Bill in Virginia Beach. He's listening to FM 99 in Norfolk, Virginia. And Bill, you're on the Rockline with us now.
All right. Hey, Bob, Ann, Nancy.
Hi.
I understand that y'all are Led Zeppelin fans.
Oh, you got that right.
And that you used to play a lot of Zeppelin when you were coming up, rock and roll in concert. My question is,
Yeah, we used to do like in clubs, we used to do this Led Zeppelin medley that was like 25 minutes long. And we did like a whole lot of love, you know, Communication Breakdown. We used to do Stairway to Heaven, Rock and Roll, all of them, you know, in this big long thing. Used to drive the people nuts.
All great songs. And Bill, what's your question?
Yeah, I was wondering have you ever jammed with Robert Plant or Jimmy Page?
Well, not jam, but we've met them both. One time we were playing in England at a place called Milton Keynes, and Plant came just down to the show and was standing on the side of the stage while we were doing rock and roll. And it was really hard for me to keep my composure right, because here he is right there on stage, you know. But, you know, he was a really nice guy. We talked to him later. And then at a party here in Seattle one night, we met Pagey, and he was a nice guy, too.
He's a real sweetheart, yeah.
Good call, Bill. Thanks. And you did a great version of rock and roll, at least the one that was captured on vinyl a couple albums ago. It was a real nice version of that. Thank you, Bill. Let's talk now to Gary in Vancouver, British Columbia, listening to CFOX FM 99. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Ann, and hi, Nancy. How are you doing?
Vancouver.
Hi, Bob. Ann and Nancy, I tell you, between the two of you, you sing and you play the guitar about as nice as you look.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
I got one other thing I was going to say is that I saw your video alone on, I think it was on Saturday night, and I didn't think too much of the song to begin with, but that video is just incredible. Like your acting, the music is just, well, it just is awesome. So it's.
Well, thank you. So did it help you make the song better?
Not only
do you like the song better now?
About 3 others.
Okay, thank you.
My question for you tonight, either you or Nancy, Ann or Nancy can answer it, but my question is, most of the songs are on the album are suited for Ann's voice. I was just wondering, which one of the songs was the most difficult to record?
Well, Wait for an Answer? Yeah, I think Wait for an Answer probably took the most, you know, to get it down right. It's in 6 different keys, and it really is a big undertaking, a real challenge, you know. But I think that Hart played the murder out of it.
She comes up with some good ones.
I was trying to avoid saying something else, that's all.
Yeah.
Played the heck out of it.
Yeah, there you go.
Played the ding-dang deal out of it.
Nancy does sing a couple of songs on the album, Strangers of the Heart, and also There's the Girl, and we'll hear There's the Girl in just a moment. Gary, thanks for your call, and call again. I'm sure you will. We're going to talk to Jennifer now in Lexington, Kentucky, listening to 98 Rock Double Q. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Fine.
How are you doing?
Just fine. This question's for Ann. I've got 2 questions. The first one is, when you all were supposed to play in Lexington on Valentine's Day last year,
oh, yeah.
and y'all had to cancel out because you were sick.
Yeah, we all got sick. The whole band got sick that time.
Well, there was an article in the paper saying that you had, you know, a long time ago, you had gone to Canada to follow someone that you were in love with. And I was just wondering if Magic Man was based on that, you know, experience and all.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Was it?
Uh-huh. I fell head over heels with this guy, and it was that kind of love where, like, nothing else matters. I mean, you leave home, you leave America, for that matter, which was really a big thing, you know. Like, I went to a foreign country to follow this guy. And he was the magic man.
Jennifer, good call. Do you have another question?
Yes, I have one for Nancy.
Okay.
I'm kind of wondering why you don't sing more lead vocals on some of the songs, because Not a One off Dog and Butterfly is my favorite Heart song.
Oh God, thank you. That's a rarity, that one. That's an obscure one. But I like that song a lot myself too. Well, the reason is like when I joined the band with Ann, I started out more as a player and a harmony singer, and I just sort of, I don't know, I'm kind of shy, and I warmed up to lead singing a little bit slowly. And she doesn't believe me that I'm shy.
Yeah, she's real shy.
On stage is one thing, that I'm not very shy on stage. But anyway, I just had to warm up to it for a long time, and I'm really starting to love it. So I'm getting more confidence, and I'm really into it now.
Yeah, this is Ann speaking. I just have to say one thing about Nancy singing it. That, like, she and I have been singing together since we were just kids, and Heart is only the most recent thing that we've done together. And she's been singing, like, lead outside of Heart all along, like since we were kids. And mark my words, as time goes along, she'll be singing more and more, and people will begin to find out what I already know, and that's that she's a really, really great singer. All she needs is the right songs.
Well, let's prove that right now as we feature Nancy on this song, There's the Girl. Jennifer, thanks for your call. This is Heart now on Rockline.
Go
Nice touch from Nancy Wilson. There's the Girl, the name of the song from Bad Animals, the latest by Heart. You're listening to Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. We'll return with our Evening with Heart in just one moment. Your number to call is toll-free. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. Only one number for the one and only Rockline. We're talking rock and roll on the Global Satellite Network. And once again, we are back. I'm Bob Coburn. You're listening to Rockline. It's our Evening with Heart. We're going to talk to Ed now in Salem, New Jersey, listening to Philadelphia's 94 YSP. Good evening, Ed.
Hi, Ann and Nancy. I think you're very correct about Heart fans being loyal. I think tonight's show has had the warmest, most sincere, and enthusiastic calls I've ever heard on Rockline. So you're doing something very, very right. I'd like to know what songs each of you would like to see released off of this album, and do you feel any are especially suited for videos? And considering all the time and work involved in doing videos, do you still enjoy them?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and yes.
All of that, yeah.
Yes, and yes. Well, I don't know. I'd like to see There's the Girl be a video. I think that would be really a fun kind of a... You could do some good comedy stuff in it. I think Wait for an Answer would be a really, really visual... it's already a visual song just when you listen to it. But I don't think it's... Well, I don't know if it's a single or not. I guess we have to wait around and see what the record companies think. But,
yeah, I'd like to see them put out Who Will You Run To, maybe, and...
yeah, because we could do some jogging in that one.
Yeah. It's a good workout song. And Flex. And Point.
And Flex.
Only 2,000 more, girls. And maybe, I like, I Want You So Bad.
Want You So Bad.
Really a lot.
Yeah.
A lot to choose from. Ed, good call. Thanks. We appreciate it. Let's move on now to London, Ontario, as we talk to Greg, listening to CFPL FM 96. Hi.
Hello, Ann. Hello, Nancy.
Hi.
As another Canadian, I'd just like to say thanks for the earlier dedication. And as previously mentioned, the new album's doing extremely well up here. It's #1 all over the place.
Oh, that's great.
And when you get up here to play some dates, I think we're going to really make it worth your while.
Okay, you guys going to stand on your seats this time?
Jump on them, maybe.
I don't have... jump on them, maybe.
That's what we want to see, That's what we want to see.
No, I don't have Canadian dates, or I would announce those. But go ahead, Greg. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I'd like to ask tonight, who musically inspired you when you were growing up or just beginning to appear in the music scene? Of course, you've already mentioned Led Zeppelin. And who today, when you want to either wind down or rock the night away, whichever. And I have a feeling you'd be doing a bit of both. What album or what performer would you like to listen to?
U2.
Yeah.
I like the new album a lot.
Peter Gabriel.
John Farnham.
Yeah, Peter Gabriel's great.
I like Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah, we got the new CD.
And Revolver, thanks to our friends at Capitol. I mean, they've given the world something they never had before.
Right.
And that's that Beatle music, so you can hear what's there, So I like that. I'm way into that. I can't wait for the White Album.
I like to get girls group collection albums and, rarities and stuff. Stuff like that.
And
oldies.
I think I read somewhere, Ann, that you have one of the 4 existing die-cast album covers of Sgt. Pepper. Do you still have that?
Yeah, that's right. You ought to see it. It's much different than the album cover. It's like the colors just come exploding out at you. And there are a couple of the people left in the photograph that got painted out when they couldn't get the okay to use them.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And you can see it's just like this little set, and there are people standing around the edges,
some lighting things.
You can see the light guys and everything.
It's really
cool great.
You also have, I guess, some John and Yoko lithographs, too, called Bag One.
Yeah, with a big white leather cover, vinyl cover, I guess it is.
From their honeymoon, I guess, huh?
Yes, and it looks like they had a good time on their honeymoon.
So the story goes,
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do anyway.
I'm ready to have a good time, too. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. You have a guitar. You've got those beautiful voices. Will you play live for us again?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah. And here's one. I think we'd like to dedicate this one to all the people who are going to come out and see us on tour this year.
We're leaving tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're leaving Yeah, tomorrow morning early to start the tour, and this is our last night at home, and so on the eve of our departure, we'd like to give this song to all those of you who are going to be our friends out there on the road starting tomorrow.
Heading out this morning into the sun, riding on the diamond way, little darling one. Warm wind caress her, her lover is seen. Oh, Annie, Dreamboat Annie, little ship of dreams. Oh, Annie, Dreamboat Annie, little ship of dreams, going down the city sidewalk alone in the crowd. No one knows the lonely one whose head's in the clouds. In the clouds, sad faces painted over with those magazine smiles, headed out to somewhere, won't be back for a while. For a while, won't be back for a while. For a while, won't be back. For a while, won't be back. For a while.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Live version of Dreamboat Annie from Seattle, beaming out all across North America. Ann and Nancy
All
are in Seattle.
across the airwaves.
I'm here in Hollywood, and I want to announce the final 5 concert dates that I have. I'm sure more will be added. In fact, I know more will be added, but here's what we have finally. The 19th of July, Saratoga Springs, New York. The 22nd, Weedsport, New York. The 23rd, Middletown, New York. The 24th and 25th in Wantagh, New York, which is the New York City area, Jones Beach. And also the 27th and 28th in Homedale, New Jersey. And that's at the Garden State Arts Center. Homedale, I should say. I'm going to talk now to Audrey in Eugene, Oregon, listening to KZL 96. Audrey, you're on with Heart.
Hi, Ann and Nancy. I can't believe I'm actually talking to you two.
Hi.
Shoot.
I'd like to do a couple things before I ask my question. One thing is happy birthday, Ann. And
Thank you.
the second one is I've got the Bad Animals album, and I think it's fantastic. And I think that I don't think vocally you two have ever sounded better.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So I think that's just absolutely phenomenal. It's the only way I could describe it.
That's always good to hear.
Oh yeah, especially on the eve of a tour.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I just can't wait to see you either in Portland or Eugene. I don't know if you play Eugene or not, but
Well, how about Seaside?
Seaside? Hey, okay.
Astoria, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, the question that I wanted to ask you for years, I've been a dedicated fan since Dreamboat Annie came out, and in fact, that's one of my favorite songs you just played. But the question that I wanted to ask is, the Private Audition album, on the title track, it was about basically, it seems like some sort of a lecturer, sort of manager or whatever. And a couple questions that I'd like to ask of either of you two is, did you ever have problems with any type of harassment when you were getting started? And or really, where did the inspiration come for the song?
Well, that song, as I recall, we were trying to visualize. That song is very stylized, like a 40s tap dance number, like a dance hall number almost. And so we thought it would be funny to treat a very kind of
an age-old
distasteful subject, which is the casting couch, subject in a lighthearted manner, So that hasn't really happened to us, but it's something that we've heard about from fellow women in rock, and so I guess we kind of were on a little high horse there about it. But so we tried to treat it in a humorous way. And we added a friend of ours tap dancing and everything. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Cindy.
Cindy.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I have a feeling she's been wanting to know that for a while. I'm glad we could have that answered for you there, Audrey.
Hope it hasn't happened to you.
Good question.
Really? Yeah, or does it in the future. We're going to play the title track from Bad Animals in just a moment. Right now, we'll take a brief time out. We have plenty more telephone time with Ann and Nancy, and your number to call is toll-free from anywhere in North America. It's 1-800-344-ROCK. You're listening to Rockline. And once again, welcome back to Rockline. I'm Bob Coburn. We're spending an evening with Heart. This is the title track of their most recent release. It's Bad Animals on Rockline.
They must be crazy.
Nice guitar work from Howard there at the end. That's Bad Animals, the title track of the most recent album by Heart. And Bob Coburn, we go back to the phones. I think we have time for one more call. We're going to talk to Cam now in Edmonton, Alberta, listening to K97. Welcome to the show, Cam.
Thank you very much. Hi, Anna. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. My question for you is, how much did your parents encourage you musically, and what did they think of the music you played today, like on your latest album?
Oh, they were really encouraging to us as kids. They both sang, and our mom played piano quite a bit, and we always played ukuleles in the car, on the way to Grandma's house. We were a real close family. We did a lot of singing together. So I think it was pretty natural, and when it got to the rock and roll part and clubs and things, they started to kind of, I don't know about this.
Yeah, then the old support percentage dropped to maybe like 30%.
Yeah, we had to get a little bit rebellious for that, but...
I guess your mom still helps you out in a way in answering fan mail, and I'm sure you got tons of that, so that's got to be a big help.
Yeah, she has a lot to say on a lot of aspects of our career.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mama.
Cam, there you go. Thank you for being on this evening. Ann and Nancy, I want to thank you both for being here and spending really your last night at home with us on Rockline, as you have an early flight tomorrow back to the East Coast. The tour begins in Portland, Maine. And
you're welcome. It's a nice little...
we always have a blast with you.
Great, thanks.
It's a nice bridge out into the outside world to do this tonight.
Now, you have been known to take... some good animals on the road with you, some puppies and things like that. You have anything planned this time around, or are you just going to go solo?
Well, Wambi Child is our tour mascot, and she's coming out on the first leg, and then Anne's going to get a new puppy, a Wheaton Terrier.
It's out. It's out
now.
now.
Oh, the word is out.
It's out now.
Again, thanks so much for being here, and good luck on the road. You got a lot of fans waiting for you.
Thanks a lot, Bob. See all you guys out there.
All right, I'll see you when you're in Los Angeles. And Nancy
bye-bye.
Wilson from Heart. Talk to you next time. I want to thank everybody for calling and for listening, and let you know that next week it's Crosby, Stills, and Nash in an exclusive interview as they prepare for their summer tour. And then coming soon on Rockline, the Fabulous Thunderbirds and Mason Ruffner. That's a double bill. Then in single shows, Sammy Hagar, Joe Walsh is going to be here too. All right. How you doing himself, Mr. Joe Walsh? Also The Doors, Starship, and a whole lot more as Rockline continues to give you the chance to interview the hottest stars in rock and roll live and nationwide in the United States and Canada. You can write us if you wish. Here's the address. It's Rockline, P.O. Box 4383, Hollywood, California, 90078. I'll repeat that since I have a little bit of time tonight. P.O. Box 4383, Hollywood, California, 90078. Special thanks tonight to Terry Denbrook and Greg Porter and all of our Seattle Rockline production team, and of course to Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson from Heart. I'm BC, and I'll be seeing you in a week.
Rockline has been brought to you in part by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
You've been listening to Rockline, brought to you in part by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Rockline is engineered by Jimmy Height, Conrad Pignon, Jim Pettyjohn, and Steve Dumais, and mixed on Yamaha professional sound equipment. Special production by Jimmy Rash. Technical direction by Jim Nelson. Our thanks to C.W. West and Kevin Stevens for their special help. Our associate producer is Mark Felsot. Producer Cindy Tolan. Executive producer Howard Gilman. Rockline is a presentation of the Global Satellite Network for distribution in the United States by the ABC Rock Radio Network.